Alright, we're starting 6.2, the natural base E. This will be video number 1. The essential question is, what is the role of the number E in mathematics? So now we have this new number we've never had before. Alright, so let's go over a few key things, like vocabulary. Okay, the natural base E is when y equals a times b to the x, a cannot be 0, and the base b is a positive real number other than 1. Okay, so that gives you natural base E. Well, what does that actually mean? Here we go. Here's a core concept with our natural base E. E is actually a number. It is irrational, so it goes on forever, just like pi. Okay? It is as x approaches infinity, the equation looks like this, and then that's E. So if I take my calculator, in case you ever want to know what E is, you have this button down here where you have the ln button. Above it in blue is E to the x. So if you want to know what E to the x is, notice it's in blue, so I'd push second, and then I'd push that ln button to get that blue E to the x. And just the number E would be to the 1 power, okay? Anything to the first power is itself, and it gives you this number. Well, it looks like on my calculator that it stops, but it keeps going forever, just like pi does. Okay, so let's get started by simplifying some of these. All right, so we want to simplify these expressions. Well, if we look at E just like we would if it was x, if I'm multiplying these, they have the same base, so I'm going to keep that base, and I take their powers and I add them. So that gives me E to the 9th power. Alright, number 2, let's simplify this. Well, let's first ignore the e's. I have 16 over 4. Well, I can take 16 and I can divide it by 4 and I get 4. Now we ignore that part and we just look at the e's. I have 2 bases that are e's, so I'm going to have an e in my answer. But since this is a quotient, I take the numerator's power and I subtract the denominator's power. So that simplifies to 4e, and 5 minus 4 is 1, so you can put the 1 power, but you don't need to when the power is 1, because remember, anything to the first power is itself. Alright, and then we have number 3. Alright, all of this in parentheses is being squared. So I need to square everything inside. So that's going to give me 3 squared. And then it gives me E, and I have negative 4x is the power, but it's also squared. So I'm going to multiply it by the 2. Alright, so now I distributed that power. 3 squared is 9. I have the base E. And then I have 2 times a negative 4x is a negative 8x. So now that is simplified. Alright, now that you know how to simplify those, you can go to the practice and do all of these problems. Problems 1, 4, 5, 8, 11, 13, and 14, and move on to video number 2.